If you were lucky to pull Majin Vegeta, or maybe you weren't, but you know you want him in the future, this video is 100% for you. We're going to go through what I believe to be one of the best possible team builds you can make utilizing this Majin Vegeta and his 200% leader skill, at least as of March 2022. Keep in mind that other units could drop in the future that could replace some units on this team, so if that happens, it is what it is. But as of right now, I do believe this is one of the best teams we're about to go through. On top of that, I really want to mention that I am prioritizing a balanced team build. I'm not trying to go full offensive or full defensive. I'm trying to make all of these units look as best as they can offensively as well as defensively, so just keep that in mind. Now, of course, really quickly, for today's subscriber challenge, before we go into this full team build, I have to catch at least one of you lacking. So if you spent more than 550 stones, you know who you are. If you spent more than 550 stones on this same day banner, you have to subscribe to the channel. It is what it is. But if you spent less than that or managed to pull Vegeta and less than that, then shout out to you. You can skip today's subscriber challenge. I will catch you lacking in the next one, so stay tuned for that. Let's hop straight into this video, starting off with our very first rotation, okay? So obviously you need this Majin Vegeta right here. Again, it's literally built around this guy, so you need to have him. And on rotation with him, you really want this tech Majin Vegeta. He is transforming, so he'll start off like this, but when he transforms, boom, these two will link beautifully. They literally share every single link once this guy transforms, and they are a very, very great pairing. On top of that, this guy is really the type of unit you want because he's going to work really great defensively the lower HP that you have. The reason why is because this guy, the lower HP you have, the more defense he gets, which makes a lot of sense, right? Because if you're low on HP, it means that your units need a little bit more defense, and this guy could really come in clutch for you with that. He also greatly raises defense on super attack, so I mean, you're not going to run this guy in slot 1 because this guy's going to work really, really good in slot 1, but, you know, on slot 2 or 3, basically slot 2, because, you know, this is one rotation here, once this guy supers and you're, you know, fairly low on HP, but even now, I mean, again, this guy is going to be really good, especially since they share every single link. So do not sleep on this first rotation here. Some other Majin Vegeta units work really good with this guy, but the reason why this guy links up is because he starts off as Super Saiyan 2 Vegeta and then transforms to Majin Vegeta. So this is definitely one rotation you really want to have, you know, for your or the friend Majin Vegeta. Next, for the other rotation, keep in mind that we really want to bring a Trunks on the team. So I was looking for a Trunks that was on Gifted Warriors because I wanted to utilize a 200% leader skill, and there's definitely a few options here. So you could definitely bring this unit if you manage to pull them, or you can bring this Trunks if you manage to pull him, or if you already have him, which he's pretty old, so I would imagine there's a good chance you have this unit way over this guy right here. The issue with this unit specifically, well, that's not necessarily the issue, but let's say you do have this unit, and let's say you bring this unit alongside them as well. These two are not really going to link the best. They share, I think, 3 links: the Innocence, Budding Warrior, and Super Saiyan, I believe, right? Yeah, they share 3 links. If we want me to be completely honest with you, I think these two as a rotation work a lot better than this unit and any other unit you could possibly bring. The reason why is because, remember, you do need a Trunks on the team, and this Trunks links up with this Goten very, very well. They share 6 out of 7 links, and on top of that, they are literally supporting each other. They're giving each other an 18% attack and defense, and on top of that, they do have 18% damage reduction when you do have a Goten or Trunks on the team, depending on which unit you're looking at, right? Now, this unit does fulfill those conditions, but again, this unit is not really linking up the best, so you can't really prioritize this unit in terms of what they're capable of when it comes to their links. So honestly, if you pull this unit, GG's, but I would pretty much keep this unit off the team, and I would personally go with these two. Once these units are Easy 8, Rainbow, you know, full level 10 links, and they've stacked their attack and defense up for a few turns, they're going to be looking very, very powerful, especially now under a 200% leader skill. Even this Goten has Gifted Warriors and Majin Buu Saga, so he is going to get a 200% buff, just like this Trunks. And with this Trunks, you are activating this guy's 30% damage reduction. So far, these two rotations are very powerful. 7 out of 7 links here, very strong rotation. 6 out of 7 links here, but they're supporting each other. They got damage reduction, and he's activating this part of Vegeta's passive. So far, this team is looking very, very powerful, okay? Next, we want to move on to our, floating units. So these are the main rotation units. Those, it takes up 4 units or 4 slots so far. So we need 3 other units on the team to complete our team here. Now, of course, you're going to want a friend of Majin Vegeta. So that goes without saying. So that's going to be 5 units in total. Now we want at least 2 more units to fill this team. The first one I'm going to say right now will be this Tech Goten if you have him. The thing with this Tech Goten, I understand that this guy is not the most impressive unit, but I really want you to understand that he's going to have access now to a 200% lead. He's on Gifted Warriors as well as Majin Buu Saga. So he's going to get an extra 60% to attack and defense, 30% from your lead, and an extra 30% from the friend lead. So this guy is going to look a lot better. On top of that, he is literally buffing Gifted Warriors with 3 key and 40% to stats. So when he's on this rotation, he's buffing these units tremendously when they don't really need it, okay? And when they're on this rotation, they're buffing these 2 with 3 key, 40% to stats. And these 2 are giving this Tech Goten, where is he at? This Tech Goten an extra 36% to attack and defense, because remember, these guys are supporting when you have Goten on the rotation or even Trunks on the rotation, which you are fulfilling. So this Goten is getting buffed by the 200% leader skill, as well as when he's on these, or when he's on this rotation specifically. So this Goten is getting a lot of buffs. I think he's going to look really good on this team. Not like a top unit, whatever, but definitely I think it's going to look very, very, very solid. Yeah, that's going to be the first, off rotation or floating unit for this team. The second one I would highly recommend is this Vegeta, okay? Now, this Vegeta is probably one of the best 3rd slot units in this game. The fact that he greatly stacks defense is really going to allow you to really trust him, or allow you to trust putting him in that last slot, because once he super attacks once or twice, his defense can really start to get going. He does stack defense pretty quickly, so he can help you tank whatever's coming in that last slot. And on top of that, you are building up or activating this part of his passive, because you are having Vegeta family category allies on the team, and he is supporting Vegeta's family with 2 key and 40% to stats. Granted, this does not apply to this Goten, because he's obviously not Vegeta's family. So it is what it is, but he is giving it to this guy, which I think is very important, and then he's also giving it to these 2. So right now what we have is 2 main rotation units, and then 2 units that every time they come on rotation are making these guys look better and these guys look better. And even though this guy isn't buffing Goten, Goten is still buffing him, making him look just slightly better with the 18% attack and defense, as well as this guy is. So it's like these 2 are supporting the 3rd slot unit, even if the 3rd slot unit isn't supporting these 2. So as you guys can see, like this team is very, very powerful, because I'm optimizing a lot of links. I have a lot of support coming in and out of every rotation. And on top of that, these support units are not weak. This guy is getting buffed tremendously in the 3rd slot, and this guy is a really good slot 3 option. Now, again, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 units in total. That does make up your team. I did have this guy pulled up here because I know someone was going to mention at least having this guy on the team. The reason why this guy is not going to work the greatest is because even though he does change orbs into orbs, or he changes orbs into int, which can help you activate a part of Majin Vegeta's passive here, this guy, if you want him to look good, he needs those orbs. He really needs those orbs if you want him to look good. And if you collect all of these orbs or all of those int orbs with Majin Vegeta, this guy could look like really, really weak in the 3rd slot. So I don't necessarily recommend running this guy unless you have no other option. But he will be giving a really fat buff to Majin Vegeta, but literally only Majin Vegeta. 3 key and 50% to this guy, but this guy won't get buffed, and this rotation will not get buffed. So I really, would prioritize these 2 units, where these 2 units are really buffing all of these, both of these rotations, but both these rotations are also, or at least this rotation is really buffing up these units as well. So I think there's a lot of cohesion here. I think with this team, you can really get something going. And again, when you take into consideration the 200% buff for this unit, the defensive attacking is insane. This unit I really believe will look really good. These 2 under a 200% buff They already put up 5-6 attack stats, so could you imagine on a 200% buff? These guys are going to look insane. And then with these two, I mean, again, case closed. Like, you guys already know how it is. This unit, I would say, is not the craziest unit of all time. But again, under a 200% buff, greatly raising defense, you're going to look very, very good. And if you take a lot of damage, his defense is going to get higher, which means you can really rely on this team in the long run, especially in difficult content. So let me know what you guys think. I do believe that having a defensive stacker on the team is going to help you out tremendously too when it comes to, you know, hard events. Because let's just say, for example, right, let's say this is your current rotation. Let's say you have this guy, and this guy's your current rotation. And let's say this guy gets locked, you know, not necessarily lock slot 1, but you want to keep these two on main rotation. But the enemy is going to be like barraging you with a lot of attacks, like maybe a few super attacks here and there, whatever the case may be. Having this guy on the team who maybe has stacked quite a bit, you could now you have flexibility. You can put him in that first slot, second slot, temporarily mess up your rotation, but at least you're not taking damage. But again, with Trunks on the team, you're giving this guy 30% damage reduction, and maybe if you get extra orbs, like, dude, like, I think like this team is good. Let me know what you guys think. If you have any other team build suggestions, let me know in the comment section below. But I do believe if you run this team, you're going to be looking very, very good. No super attack issues, no key issues whatsoever, and the stats of all these units are going to be looking very, very thick. So again, let me know what you guys think. Hopefully you enjoyed this video, and I will see you in the next one. Take care and peace.